everybody, my name is Quinn and welcome to my channel. So today I'm going to be bringing to you my summer book haul, not because it's summer or anything, because it's still like 40-50 degrees where I live, but because these are going to be all the books that I'm going to be reading in the summer months. I did a lot of book shopping. I think I had like 18 books here, but I'm planning on not buying books for a while because I want to save up for, the next semester of college and all that fun adult stuff. So I have 18 books here to show you, so let's just jump right into them. I'm not going to go super into depth into all these books because I think that it would take forever to get into all of them, but if you follow me on Goodreads, all of the books that I mentioned in this video will be on my shelves. Most of them will be on my to be read shelf, a couple will be on my currently reading, and I think only like 2 are going to be on my read shelf. But if you click on any of those titles on my shelves, you should be able to find like full descriptions and better descriptions, and I'll be able to give you in quick summaries, but just keep that in mind when I'm, discussing all the books. The first book I'm going to show you is A Court of Mist and Fury by Sarah J. Maas. I absolutely cannot wait to read this book. I just finished A Court of Thorns and Roses by Sarah J. Maas, and I absolutely loved it. And The Court of Thorns and Roses is a Beauty and the Beast retelling where Feyre kills a wolf. It's actually a fairy. One of the High Lords of the fairy world comes and tells her, you can either come with me or die. So she chooses to go with him, and the story kind of follows from there. But I'm so excited to delve into this. Sarah J. Maas is an absolute queen. I love everything she writes, so I'm really excited to get into this. It's actually rather long, but I'm pretty excited. The next 3 books I have to haul are all by Morgan Matson. I read Since You've Been Gone by Morgan Matson last summer, and I absolutely loved it. I love her characters, I love the themes that she puts into play, and I love that she has kind of more deep contemporaries, which is always something I love, but it also has the cute romance aspect of it. The first is her newest book, and it is The Unexpected Everything, which follows Andy. Andy was planning to have a pre-med internship, but instead her father undergoes a political scandal, and they are forced to spend the entire summer together, which is a problem because they don't really get along. The second Morgan Matson book that I picked up is Second Chance Summer. The story follows Taylor, and she discovers that her father is very ill, and they decide to spend one last summer together at their lake house. I hear this is a very emotional read, but I'm fully prepared for it. I think this will just be like a nice kind of summer read because it does have a romance, but it's also very kind of heavy in its themes, so I'm very excited to pick this up. And the last Morgan Matson book that I got is Amy and Roger's Epic Detour, and this has to deal with Amy and her father, who just died in a car accident, and she has to go across the country to attend his funeral, but she's not really ready to get behind the wheel because her father just died in a car accident. So she is accompanied by Roger, I think, and they go across the country, and I'm sure love ensues, but it's also, again, one of her deeper contemporaries. So I'm really excited to pick this up because I hear Morgan Matson's all of her books are just fantastic, and I just love her writing, so I'm really excited to read all 3 books by Morgan Matson. Next, I picked up the first 3 books in the Fallen Kingdoms series by Morgan Rhodes: Fallen Kingdoms, Rebel Spring, and Gathering Darkness. I only picked up the first 3 because they were on sale on Book Outlet, but I think this is basically kind of just like a YA Game of Thrones where it's a bunch of young rulers competing to win the crown, and there's a lot of magic involved. So basically that sounds like a YA Game of Thrones to me. I mean, I could be completely wrong, but that's what it sounds like for me. Everyone says the series is really great, and I can't wait to pick it up. Next, I picked up all the books in the Grisha trilogy by Leigh Bardugo: Shadow and Bone, Siege and Storm, and Rune and Rising. Not gonna lie, I don't know too much about the Grisha trilogy. I know it's set in a magical Russia, and our character kind of finds out that she has magical powers, and she kind of hopes to tackle the Fold, which is like this darkness that kills people, I think. Don't hold me on that. But again, if you want to know more about it, go on to my Goodreads and all the descriptions will be there. I mainly wanted to pick up the Grisha trilogy because I really want to read Six of Crows because everyone's been absolutely raving about it. So then I picked up Six of Crows by Leigh Bardugo. This cover is absolutely gorgeous. I am in love with the black pages. I didn't think I was going to be, but then I absolutely am in love with these pages. This is about an impossible heist, and it's written in many different points of view, which I absolutely love. So many points of view, so I'm really excited to read another book with multiple points of view because I haven't read something like that since I think City of Heavenly Fire, so I'm really excited to pick up this book. The next book that I picked up is A Darker Shade of Magic by V.E. Schwab. Everyone has been raving about V.E. Schwab, in particular this series. I know that has to deal with 4 parallel Londons, I think 4, I'm not really sure, but some are magical and some are not, and a magician can travel through all of them. That's all I really know about this book, and that's all I really want to know. I kind of want to go into it a little bit surprised, but I kind of want to just figure out what's all the hype about, so I will definitely be picking up this book sometime soon. Then I picked up Finding Audrey by Sophie Kinsella. This story follows Audrey, our main character, who has a very severe anxiety disorder. She wears dark glasses, she can't really leave her house, and she's very uncomfortable talking to people, and the story is all about how she is dealing with her anxiety. I already finished this book. I was kind of meh about it, but more thoughts on that in my May wrap up. The next book that I picked up is Bone Gap by Laura Ruby. I saw this book in a bookstore, and you know how in bookstores they have like the little like, ooh, the staff recommends this, and there were a lot of staff recommends for this. Summary actually sounded really intriguing, and I think that the cover is just really cool. But it's basically about this character, Finn, who sees someone get kidnapped, someone that he knows, but no one really believes him because this is the sort of town where people just can't wait to get out of, so no one believes that she's really been kidnapped, but rather that she just left. It sounds really mysterious, and I hear from some reviews that it kind of just breaks all genre conventions and tropes, and doesn't really follow one trope, so that's kind of really interesting. And I haven't read a mystery since probably Gone Girl, so I'm really excited to read this, and I might try to read this in June, but I'm so excited to pick this up. It just sounds really, really interesting. The next book that I picked up is one that I've already read, and that is Landline by Rainbow Rowell. I didn't have it in physical form, and I absolutely love the cover on the hardcover version, but it's kind of like $18 on Amazon, but it was only like $5 on Book Outlet or something like that, so I kind of had to pick it up because this cover is beautiful. Basically, it deals with a marriage, so it is an adult book, and they're having kind of a rocky marriage. It's sort of like a lack of communication. Our main character is working all the time, and her husband is kind of sick of it, so she kind of goes to her mother's house for the weekend and discovers kind of a magical phone that can talk to the past, and she kind of talks to her past husband. It's kind of confusing, the description, but it's just a great romance, and I thought that I wasn't going to be able to relate to it because it was adult, but I really love Rainbow Rowell's adult books, so I think I gave this book a 5 out of 5 stars, so I would definitely recommend picking this up if you're on the fence about it. So at my college, before everyone moved home, they had a room in each dorm building where people just kind of brought their stuff that they didn't want, and other people could either take that, or if anything was left at the end, they were going to donate it. So I went down to bring down a couple of my things, and I found The Revenant by Michael Punk. I saw the movie, and I absolutely loved it. If you haven't seen it, it's great. Probably not if you're an animal lover, though. It does get kind of graphic, but I kind of wanted to see how the movie is different from the book. This cover is pretty gorgeous, and I'm really excited to pick this up because I absolutely loved the movie. I will link the trailer down below, but it's just kind of amazing cinematically. I'm a film major, I'm a geek about that, but I can't wait to read this book and see how it's different from the movie. So have you ever gone on Book Outlet and then just get like a little carried away and just like buy every book that you think is like even a little bit interesting? Yeah, I did that. I got My Life Next Door by Huntley Fitzpatrick. I know it's a contemporary. I know that this girl is kind of from a very strict, organized family, and then a very messy, kind of dysfunctional, crazy, wild family moves in next door, and she kind of falls for, you know, the teenage boy that lives next door. I just love contemporaries in the summer particularly, and I kind of wanted just a light, you know, cute romance to read in the summer, so I picked this up. It was only $3, so, you know, I can't feel too guilty about it, and I will end up reading it, so I'm pretty excited to pick this one up. And the last book that I picked up is Between the Lines by Jodi Picoult and her daughter Samantha Van Leer. I hear this is kind of a magical realism book. I could be completely wrong, but I think that it's about a character who reads a book and the character comes to life and they kind of fall in love. I'm not particularly sure. I read Jodi Picoult, My Sister's Keeper, and that was really great, but I've never read any of her young adult work, so I'm pretty excited to read this. Again, it was on Book Outlet. It was like $3, so I was like, why not? You know, I'm gonna be reading a lot. I need more books, so I'm pretty excited to read this and see how it compares to her adult books. So those were all the books that I got. I know that it was kind of a lot, but I won't be buying books for a very long time unless it's like a new release that I'm really excited for. But those are all the books that I will be reading pretty much during the summer, so that was kind of like a summer TBR also, you know. So I hope that you guys really liked this video, and I hope that you have inspiration to buy more new books because, you know, there's never such a thing as too many books. Thank you guys all so much for watching. I will see you next Tuesday. Bye guys! But today I thought I would bring to you my April wrap-up and my May TV.